sound. F says G. G says G. And G says J. Every letter makes a sound. G says G. And J. H. H says H says every letter makes a sound. H says I says I. And I says I. Every letter makes a sound. I says I. And I. J says J. J says J. Every letter makes a sound. J says J. K says K. K says K. Every letter makes a sound. K says K. L says O. L says O. Every letter makes a sound. L says O. M says M says Every letter makes a sound. M says N says N says Every letter makes a sound. N says O says O. And O says O. Every letter makes a sound. O says O. And O. P says P says every letter makes a sound. P says Q says Qu. Q says Qu. Every letter makes a sound. Q says Qu. O says O says Every letter makes a sound. O says S says S says every letter makes a sound. S says T says T says every letter makes a sound. T says U says U. And U says Every letter makes a sound. U says U. And V says V says every letter makes a sound. V says W says W. W says W. Every letter makes a sound. W says W. X says X. X says X. Every letter makes a sound. X says X. Y says U. And Y says I. Every letter makes a sound. Y says U. And I. Z says Z. Z